This deck is something. If we're winning, it's probably going to be a longer set. So basically, this is a kind of blue-white deck that draws a bunch of cards with things like Seagate and Mulldrifter, and eventually sets up Ghostly Flicker alongside Mnemonic Wall here to bounce other creatures and get your Flicker back. And then we've got Sage's Row Denizen, which says here, whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts top 2 cards of their library into their graveyards. This is our eventual win condition. We've got a Singleton Mortuary Mire here to pick him back up out of the discard pile should he die. And we've got a couple copies of Sunscape Familiar to make our blue spells cost 1 less so you can make your Ghostly Flickers cheaper. So let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here and see how this goes. Yes, yeah, if you ever get an ad on this channel, it is a sign that you are not subbed if you're a sub. This deck does look interesting. I agree. I'm doing well, Sergo. Apocalypse was a weird time alert. Don't ask questions. Morning goal. Is there any reason to go Esper so you can play Devrana Horror? I have no idea. This is card for card a deck list that did well in a thing. What is Pauper? Pauper is a format where all cards had to be printed at common at some point. I guess I'm gonna keep this. It's got Snap in it, I guess, is some pseudo interaction. This card, Snap. So you'll notice in the mana base of this deck, we're playing some off-color Kerus or bounce lands. And that is because of the interaction with Snap, which allows us to untap 2 lands when we cast it. So this actually makes mana for us when we untap a bounce land with it, which is neat. So we're hoping to draw... a 2-drop or something. I don't want to play the Chancery here, because playing the Chancery means that I'd have to discard the hand size because it picks the land back up. Morning, Ornell. Guess we just basic land cycle. I don't have anything else to do with myself. Sub-only chat must be off because we were playing Underlords Friday night. We can leave it off as long as the rabble behaves. If I get annoyed, we'll toggle it back on. We'll give the kids a chance to play. You got a Glen Hawk. This bounces the Astrolabe and lets them draw a card. How is your Underlord experience? I'm not really caring for the patch that they did last week. They said they're gonna adjust some stuff in it today, so we'll see if that changes things. Serrated Arrows. Remove an arrowhead. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Alright, so I guess playing that lets us not discard the hand size. I think the opponent's deck usually plays a bunch of reach in it, like Lightning Bolts and Galvanic Blasts and stuff like that. Yeah, I think so, Pelly. They're supposed to be patching, putting out another balance patch this morning. Hey, morning, Just Up B. C11 wants to support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Holy Flab coming in hot with a $25 tip. We'll get that into the deck queue after I'm all done tonight. So this thing gets 3 counters on it, and then it basically slowly kills a couple of things. I might end up discarding the hand sights here, but I do definitely want to just do a little deep analysis. We're going to draw 2 up to 8, and then if I don't hit... Yeah, I didn't hit a... You know what's interesting? I could have discarded the hand sides on 2, I guess, and then turn 3 drawn 2 off a deep analysis. That might have been a reasonable decision. I think I'm actually going to discard the extra deep anal here. Yeah, deep, and then A-N-A-L, deep anal. Deep analysis. Holy Flab! Thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate it. It's been a long year since I subbed, and a lot's changed in my personal life, but your content's been amazing to listen to and enjoy. I can't wait to see what the next year brings. Well, thanks for keeping me around. It's going to be interesting to see where the direction in which Magic the Gathering decides to go. So we can play Sunscape Familiar here, which makes all of our stuff cost 1 less. Opponent's doing a whole lot of nothing here as well. Which, I gotta imagine that's pretty good for us. Our deck generates a lot of value. I don't really care about the flavor of a set. My gut instinct is that a fairy tale set seems like it will likely be very popular. Hey, look, they killed my cards, but one of them drew 2 cards, so it's like, you know, kind of a wash. Yeah, hopefully get a 1-drop modern playable fairy. That's my hope. I would like a 1-drop modern playable fairy. Inspect me, Inspector. Target creature can't attack or block this turn. Yep. Yeah, I would really just love a Judge's Familiar with a fairy type line. That would be pleasant. Just actual Judge's Familiar with a fairy type line, please. Sounds great. I don't know if we're ready for Sage's Row, Denizen, yet. Might be wrong to take that already. Whenever you cast a blue, black, or red spell, you gain 1 life. Yeah, I think I'm in the market for all of these, huh? I already played a land for the turn. Aqueduct guarantees me my next 2 lands. Birds are the fairies of real life. I don't know if I believe you. It's just an 0-4 wizard. It's a weird stat line. Yeah, actually, I didn't think about that. We could get something like Big Bad Wolf adjacent. Probably, right? They showed us a Little Red Riding Hood card, right? Strictly better yoke docks. What absurd power creep. This is completely unreasonable. Strictly better yoke docks. Just every card in my hand draws a card when I play it, chat. That's all it does. All they do is draw cards. I feel like there's a very real chance this deck could deck itself. I'm not looking for that. I'm kind of looking for familiars and ghostly flickers at this point, I think. So I've got two buddy lands in play now, or two bounce lands, whatever you want to call them. Which means these snaps are real good. The snaps each generate 2 mana when we cast them. Hey, and yeah. Haven't decided on a deck to add to the queue. That's fine. You can use it whenever it ends up working out for you. Thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate the absurd level of support. You get the notification that you are live. If you should make sure you're in the subs Discord if your Twitch notifications mess up on occasion. The only people who have permission to tag at everyone in the subs Discord are myself and my wife. So you won't get random spammy messages, and I tag every morning when I post. So they took my Mnemonic Wall. I mean, is it really that wild? Like, decks that are difficult to interact with tend to do well. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana total. I probably don't want to cast this until I can protect it with Snap or Ghostly Flicker. I mean, Denver had some text coverage, but yeah, no video coverage. Not looking for either of these. We're looking for Ghostly Flickers and we're looking for Ghostly Flickers and familiars at this point to make those Ghostly Flickers cheaper. Theodorix, thank you for the 9 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh, wow, I really messed up here. I actually am not going to cast this now, am I? Yeah, I'm going to cast it. Let's dig for a familiar. I should have definitely tapped this plains instead of an island, though, because I would have ideally liked to have left mana up for Snap, and now I don't have Snap mana up here. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of the balance changes they did to Underlords, Bike. It felt like they added a lot of variance to the game because there's like you have a lot less chance to recover. Yeah, and look, the fact that I didn't hold Snap up here means I just lost my Mnemonic Wall. Which is pretty rough. That's a pretty big mistake. I need the wall to like combo at the end of the day. Or like to be able to mill them out. So I have a third wall in my deck, right? I have to be conservative with it. You have one more wall in my deck. The old deep analysis only pays 1. God bless. We just flick our stuff over and over again with Sage Rose Denizen to mill our opponent out. At the beginning of your upkeep, if there's no counters on this, sacrifice it. So now I can do this. And then I can flick these two. Sounds good, Divik. Which gives me my Serrated Arrows back and triggers this. I'm going to grab Preordain here at this point. And I'm looking for my third Mnemonic Wall now. That's what we want. Hey, John. I think that's it, John. Yeah, Jonathan, thanks for the support. I appreciate it. There's no note with that donation, but thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. And pick this island back up. Probably just going to bin this Kirtar's Desire. Doesn't really look like a necessary card for this matchup. So, honestly, the only thing, I feel like my opponent's deck probably can never beat ours if we get set up and do it correctly. But I do need to make sure I don't run out of time. I'm currently down 10 seconds on time, so this is the first time I'm playing this deck. I'm fumbling around a little bit. My opponent's playing kind of like a mid-range deck. It just doesn't really have the means to pressure the deck we're playing out of the game. So once we find a Mnemonic Wall, we'll be able to get Wall, pick Ghostly Flicker back up, play Sage's Row, Denizen here, and get going. Obakai. That player discards 2 cards. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Nope. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you will, but you never ever let it go. You're splashing a ninjutsu card. You know, I'm actually just gonna turn the subscriber mode back on. Because people, and that's just typical internet stuff. Is subscriber mode off? I'm not subscribed and I'm talking. No, subscriber mode is on. That's why you're not subscribed and you're talking. Like, stuff like that always makes it, it's like, what, seriously? Like, can we not just, like, do we not understand? Can we not just figure it out ourselves? Like, it's stuff like that. People that can't help themselves, that are just so just, like, can't, like, put the 2 and 2 together. The Paris, thank you for the entire year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Banza! Thanks for the 10 months of support. Scape Shift is the best introduction to modern standard players could ever have. I agree. You know, actually, it's funny. I was talking about it with my buddy Matt the other day, and they basically just, like, this format that's the basis for Historic now is basically just Modern, right? Yep, yeah, mods can talk in sub-only chat. $24. Oh, right. This only cost me this many. All right, so there's my wall. So the wall's gonna pick up. Ghostly Flicker. Yes, very Pike. All right, and then, so what do I want to do here? So the snap costs 1, but then makes a lot more mana than 1, right? So, like, I can snap this back to their hand, which untaps two Dimir Aqueducts here. And then I get to play Sage Row Denizen here. And I have Ghostly Flicker plus 2 snaps up. I technically don't have both snaps up, right? Yeah, our snaps are basically Dark Ritual on this board state. It's a good time. Alright, so this is the win condition. Whenever another blue creature enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. So now we're gonna flick our boys over and over and over again. Hey, Fragabo, thank you for the tier 3 resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday morning. Sure, take a peek at the deck queue and let me know something in there you'd like to see a little bit sooner. Or if there's something new you'd like to add, you're always welcome to do that as well with the tier 3. Save targets, always yield. I don't know, Pauper seems fine so far. Another thing to remember if you're new to Magic is that when a card changes zones, it counts as a new instance of that card. So, we have Ghostly Flicker here, which allows us to blink something in response to a removal spell, and then oh no, we have to discard 2 cards, chat. How will we ever recover from this incredible value loss? Alright, so they should be dead next turn. Yeah, I think we're solidly in garbage. Honestly, it feels like this whole match is garbage time. We'll see. I guess they'll have a bunch of Pyroblast post board, which will make things maneuvering a little bit harder for us, but we'll get Dispels and Hydroblasts. Honestly, if we lose this match, I would bet dollars that we lose the match to the clock timer. So these come in and out. Wall gets back Flicker, Mulldrifter trigger. These all happen. Let's draw a couple of cards. Pick the Flicker up. Yeah, Pauper is basically, it's like what would happen, put one of them in your hand, put the other on the bottom in any order. I guess, because I don't have 2 Mnemonic Walls, I guess I technically have to mill them like 2 cards at a time. I want to draw a little bit more though, because eventually I find I need a second Sunscape Familiar, right? Is what I need to do. Oh, I could have just Mortuary Mired the other one back to the top of my deck, huh? Yeah, that would have worked. There's the other Familiar. All right, so this is infinite. So Sunscape Familiar here means that I can go Ghostly Flicker, blink my wall, blink my land for 1 mana. So my land untaps. So the Ghostly Flicker is free. And every time I cast this free Flicker, it It mills my opponent for 2 with the Sage Road Denizen. And at this point, my opponent... This is actually, you know, it's actually funny. This is the reason that we played Pauper once in the past. And I actually stopped playing because there were too many tryhards. There's too many. The clock, the level of grind this format has just ends up not making for good content because of how slow a lot of the decks are. And like sitting here playing matches that we're winning but we're timing out of just like ends up not making for good content. Which we could maybe avoid by playing specific decks, but it just feels like a lot of the decks in this format fall into that category. So it's taking me, you know, 2 minutes to click through this, and this isn't like Magic Arena where the clock is completely irrelevant because they give you so much time and the client so fast. Moto's an incredibly slow and clunky program. And they give you, not only is Moto slower and clunkier than Magic Arena, but the timers in Moto are 5 minutes shorter, which really probably speaks volumes to how overly long the timers in Arena are. But it's the reality of the situation. To the 10 months, Orinel, I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hey, thanks for the 22 months, Be Rich. Welcome back. Yeah, so my opponent's decked now. They knew they were decking. They were just making me click through that because it took me 12.5 minutes to win that game. Oh, you can deep analysis to kill them right away. That's super true. This is target player. That's super true. So, like, even if I end up winning this game, even though I end up winning this game and could be guaranteed to win the next one, I might time out in a game that I'm basically guaranteed to win just because of how slow and clunky Magic Online is, and my opponent making me click through the combo, which is within their right to do as a competitive player. Like, winning this match of Pauper is, like, that important to them, like, more power to them. It just, again, makes the idea of producing content for this format a lot less appealing. If a lot of the decks, like, this is far from the only deck in this format that's similar to this, and plays long games, has a combo you have to click through, etc. Yeah, the play patterns in Pauper are very, very different than a lot of other things in Magic. I don't even know if that's strictly true. There's definitely aggressive decks in this format. The last few sets we had were against a lot of aggressive decks. I definitely think there are a number of people who the grindy play pattern of Pauper is appealing to them. And on occasion it's nice. Like, I don't dislike this gameplay. It's just losing matches that I'm guaranteed to win because Moto is slow is just, like, not a pleasant experience. So, like, even if I enjoy the format, it might end up just being like, we're not going to make content for this just because that experience is not pleasant and makes for bad content. Like, say what you will about Modern, but, like, running this, like, I'm someone who plays pretty quickly. And just, like, by virtue of, like, what the decks are in this format and, like, how Moto is, this format still takes forever a lot of the time. I mean, this format has, like, we died on turn 4 a couple of times last week when we were playing Pauper. I already have plenty of lands. Just grab the steep analysis. Like, anyone who's watched this stream a bunch knows that, like, it's pretty rare for me to be behind on clock. And we're down almost 3.5 minutes after everything clicked through that combo in the first game. I think I won more games of Commander than I did Standard. Thanks for the 9 months, Dan. Hey, we all have those weekends, okay? It happens sometimes. I think I'm ditching a land here. And thanks for the 9 months. Hey, Recon Bravo team with the 9 months as well. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. Yep. I feel like I want to wait to play Mulldrifter till I can hold up Hydroblast too. And maybe I shouldn't have discarded that Plains if that was my plan. That just plays and makes, yeah. So let's top both of these. What am I ditching here at this point? I think it's just a Witch spell. When you are the monarch, you draw an extra card at the end of every turn. I played a land for the turn. Right? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, because they've played a land every turn and they have a Keru in 3 and I have a Keru in 3. Hey, Jack. Thank you for the half of your support. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Hey, Davrim TV coming out with that brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Monarch helps. That's true. That's true. The Monarch is less clicks when we eventually get to the milling them out portion of the game. I'm just gonna ditch the Ponder here. I think I want all these Hydroblasts. Metal Invocation, thank you for the half of your support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, so if they don't play another creature, we might take the Monarch here. So I'm going to float 2, play this Chancery, pick this up, snap this. If they have another Pyroblast here. I guess snapping this doesn't really accomplish a whole lot. It lets us draw 1 card, I guess. Two more snaps are good draws. We need to win this game, so we're definitely not going to have time for a game 3. have a vial. We're galvanic blasting. My thing. Let's not. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. The God-Pharaoh's faithful here, just like ensuring that nothing bad ever happens to us. 1 damage to each creature without flying. There's a deep analysis in our bin here still. Let's go ahead and kill this. I don't want that hanging out. That's kind of scary. And we'll probably flashback Deep Anal here. I've got two in here, which is great. Each of these only cost me 1 life, 2 to flashback, because I've got double faithful in play. Just gotta dig to set up our combo now at this point. There's a Sunscape Familiar. So I'm going to snap this back to their hand. So I can take the Monarch here. And draw a card. So that's 1 familiar. We need another familiar, a wall. If they try and kill my familiar, we can Ghostly Flicker it. I don't really care if they draw another card. I just wanted to get deeper into my deck here. I might double cycle these Ash Barrens. I guess that gives them a window to kill my stuff, though. As always, if you're wondering what's contained in a deck list that's coming up in the stream title, you can find the list listed in the deck queue on the website. Well, we've halfway caught back up in time here. Should I have Hydroblasted that? Maybe I should have Hydroblasted that. Yeah, probably. Although I guess Ghostly Flicker saves me a little bit. Thin the deck out here a little bit. Normally deck thinning's not statistically relevant, but because we're basically getting every land out of our deck, or we're going through most of our deck, it becomes more relevant than it normally would be. Right now, 21 here. We're looking for Mulldrifters and Deep Analysis, Ponder, Preordains, ways to kind of shift through the last few cards of our deck so we can find our way to our combo pieces. Yeah, I think the purpose of Yarok Panza is to allow your Field of Deads to be better when you're actually not scapeshifting, so like gives you more than 4 scapeshifts essentially. I agree with you that alongside actual factual scapeshift, it's a little bit win more. The thinking behind splitting them up is probably so people get annoying and ask me why they're split, because there isn't a reason to. To bluff being another deck is the strict technical answer, but in the practical sense of it, there's no reason to. Which spell, opponent? You stuttered. They tried to O-ring my Familiar here, which is smart. Familiar is technically one of my combo pieces, so that'll do nothing now. We gained 4 more life, which is great. We're taking 6 on this combat step, but I did draw a Mulldrifter here, so that's great. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I hit red on my Moto timer. We're definitely gonna hit red here. Unfortunately, this is a deck where, especially in a matchup like this, it's hard to catch back up on clock because I have to leave responses up to things. Click through prompts and stuff like that. Another snap's not bad. That makes a ton of mana. Costs 1 mana, makes 4 mana. It's a good exchange rate. All right, there's a wall. All right, so we're gonna build this wall, and when it's all done, we're gonna send the Rakdos the bill for it. Yeah, heat let up a good bit here. I think the high today is only 77. And then wall with flicker and 1 familiar means that we're going to be able to churn through our deck pretty quickly along with Seagate Oracle and Mulldrifter here, which is great. Does 1 damage to each creature without flying. So they have to sacrifice a bunch of stuff here. I assume they're sacrificing 4 things, right? And so how this is gonna work is they're gonna put 4 triggers on the stack. And then we're gonna be pretty okay. So we let 2 of these triggers resolve. And then I'm gonna go ahead and snap back 1 of these 2 that's going to die. Which will untap 2 of my Azorius Chanceries here. And then we'll Ghostly Flicker 2 of my things, and then we'll Ghostly Flicker 2 of my other things. So they need double Pyroblast here. And this is their 3rd Pyroblast, so they'd need all 4 in their top half of their deck. So I get to untap these. So I get to Ghostly Flicker, Wall, and Sunscape Familiar, paying 2. Then Wall's gonna pick Ghostly Flicker back up. Yes, please. And we'll Ghostly Flicker, Wall, and Seagate Oracle. And then the only thing this Shaman ends up killing is one God-Pharaohs, which is nice. Pick my Flicker back up. I would love my Sage Row Denizen. It's one of my combo pieces. So there's a bunch of damage marked on things that then goes away. If they have another one of those things, we could be in trouble, maybe. Maybe their third one of those, though. Finally just auto pass here, which is great. Down to 4 minutes, but they only have 28 cards in their deck. So that's good. So clicking through the combo won't actually take that long. What do I need to full combo here? I need another familiar. Right? Yeah, I just need another familiar. We're going all the way down to 23 here. So let's lead on this. 19 cards in my deck. Okie doke. Nope. Play this. They seem to be auto passing. This picks this up. Save targets, always yield, always yield. Yes. So to click this, select yes. Click this, hit OK. Click this. You can just feel the sodium pouring out of the other side of the screen. Just like the yeah, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna make him click through this. It's all salt down here, chat. It's a way of life. It's a way of life. Salty kids. I know it's been hot and people have been sweating, but don't let the sodium get to you, chat. Don't let the sodium get to you. Got seven more times. Ready to get off my wild ride here, opponent? RPG Fun, thank you for the quarter viewer support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping around. I got 2 minutes to mill them 10 more cards here. So hopefully we're going to be okay. My opponent has now stopped auto-passing in the hope that changing the timing on how I have to click through this will cause me to run out of time and time out. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Do. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you will, but you never ever let it go. Only get one shot tonight, it's the chance to blow. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Listen, they paid $10 to gamble in this league. This is very serious business. Very serious business. Thanks for the tip, Dude Light. Thanks for the support. We'll get that added in after I'm done tonight, of course. $85 seconds to spare. Your turn. It's already been 7 months. The time flies when you're watching Jeff instead of working. Thanks for the tier 3 and for all the gifties and donations here over the last 7 months. Hope your Monday is treating you swell. Yes, if you drop at 3-0, you get the same prizes at 3 and 2. Your prizes are just based on the number of wins you achieve. Victory bits towards Espermentor. Sounds good, Woodwind. Thanks for the support. I believe that should put it up into tomorrow, if I recall what the queue looks like. Yeah, assuming no other big bumps for Moto stuff, then I'll put Espermentor into tomorrow morning. That sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine. Needs a white source, but I've got a Preordain here. Yeah, we're obviously not going to play all 5 matches in this league. In fact, if we have a repeat of that last match, this might be a two-match league. Which is part of the reason why I promise 2 matches with the deck as the minimum. Because sometimes, especially on Magic Online, you only get 2 matches in 90 minutes. As someone who years ago salted off on more than a couple of people while playing Magic Online, a lot of the people who get really upset while playing Magic Online, they're people who invest too much of their self-worth into Magic as a card game. Magic's a very intellectual game. Like it's a thinking game, right? Like if there's not a physical aspect to this game, so it's very easy to get your mental state if you're not in a good spot in life, to get your mental state into this position where it feels you let yourself think that like if you're not winning your matches, it's because you're stupid, and then feeling stupid causes you to lash out and do stupid things. Spreading seas. Wow, that's rude. Hey, it's good to hear, Anner. I appreciate the feedback. No, I have the chat off. Ain't nobody got time for salty chatters. How exactly did it increase the variance? Because they adjusted the game to make the games end faster by dealing more damage to you and making things like Arc Warden and the summon item that makes the summons deal damage to you. Because the games end faster, it gives you less opportunities to recover from bad starts. Yeah, and they're making adjustments today. And I'm sure I'll play some more after they make adjustments today. I was far from the only one to have the thoughts that I had on it. You take more damage than they changed the damage rules, Tom. So normally you would take 0 additional damage from rounds 1 to 10. You start taking 1 additional damage right away now, and you take 2 additional damage starting at round 11. So you're actually just taking more damage, so the games are ending faster. I mean, I don't even know that it's even strictly a bad change, but I definitely think that as a change increases the variance of the format for sure, or the game. And it's looking like this is going to be another grindy matchup, so if we end up winning, there's a good chance that we don't get to a third match in this league, just because how long these are taking. Let's try and hit a land drop here. Yeah, it might be, Bob. I'm not sure if it's ideal or if there's some other middle ground that's good. We won the first one with like 80 seconds to spare. To be fair, Tom, I don't think the change was listed in their patch notes, so I'm not surprised that you missed it. I think I'm in for Chancery here. And discard this Kirtar's Desire. Doesn't look like my opponent really has creatures. Yeah, and like it's a new genre of game. They seem to be very responsive to feedback, which is good. And that's why it's important that I think you give open, honest feedback, right? So like when something feels bad, you should tell them that it feels bad. It seems like they're actually responding to things instead of, Yeah. It looks like my opponent's playing basically the same thing our last opponent was playing. Not exactly. Similar idea, but they've got blue cards in with theirs. Standard is great, all hail Scapeshift. I mean, they've pitched Modern as being a healthy format for a long time, and they've basically created what Modern has been in Standard. So I have no doubt in my mind that they think this current Standard format is great, because this current Standard format is basically Modern. I don't know, Bob. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I don't know. I'm not actually sure if you're being serious or not either, so I guess there's that as well. Kirtar desires you to not attack. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It's like Modern, but there aren't sweet cards to play. Not only that, but like your deck's gonna rotate too. Like the big appeal of Modern to a lot of people is that like they get to have their deck, right? And like that's just not a thing. I mean, I posted a tweet last night, Rook Johnson, but this Standard format now has some of the best decks in it represent what, in my opinion, are some of the worst things about Modern. So Scapeshift, big mana decks that are combo decks that are very difficult to interact with are one of the worst parts about Modern. Decks like Nexus of Fate that you have to sit there helpless. for 5 to 10 minutes to find out if they're gonna brick off. It's one of the worst parts about decks in Modern. Those experiences used to be very unique to Modern, not the norm for Magic. Prison style decks like prison style decks with cards that are miserable like Bloodboon and Staring Bridge. Now we have 3 mana Teferi in Standard. All right, we're drawing a lot of cards here, chat. We're gonna see some cards. All right, that's a familiar. I think I'm gonna go top here. What if I snap this back and like untap my lands and I can Ghostly Flicker? Yeah, let's do some stuff. It's a Mulldrifter. Probably want the wall. All right, let's just pass here. All right, so how close are we to comboing? I need a familiar. I need a familiar, and I need the other thing, the actual mill creature. So I need 2 more things to. Is there a combo in Modern that takes as long as Nexus? There has been at several points. They just recently banned it though. It's not even a theory. They definitely printed 3 mana Teferi to counteract Wilderness Reclamation. Every time there's been a deck that reaches tier 1 status that takes as long as Nexus Evade to win in Modern, Wizards banned something from it. Which is honestly part of the reason why I'm surprised Nexus stayed legal the entire time it was in Standard. This deck's tough for content because not only are these games long, but because they're long, I can't interact with chat as well. Just because I'm trying to like focus through and not time out. It's the first time I played it, so I have a kind of a hard time articulating why I'm doing the things I'm doing, because I'm trying not to time out while I'm fumbling through it. Oh, Jeskai Ascendancy. I like Jeskai Ascendancy. Yeah, in my opinion, decks like Nexus of Fate existing are a neat aspect for Magic to have, but in my opinion, it is a design failure when those decks end up being tier 1. So I think it's fine for those decks to exist, but I also think those decks should never be tier 1. It should be a novel experience, not the norm experience for the format. And that's my subjective personal opinion. Yeah, Red-White Land Destruction is a great example of something that's like novel when it's mediocre, but if it's the best deck in your format, you're like, ugh, why is this a thing? Another counterspell? Gosh, that's rude. I already played a land for the turn. Tilt. I guess I'm just passing. Yeah, let's do a little deep anal. Another wall deal. All right, so there are 2 Sunscape Familiars in my bin here. So if we can floop one of those back up on top, we'll probably be pretty okay. They're through all 4 actual factual counterspells at this point. No, that's the stock wall artwork, I believe. Should probably auto yield to these triggers. So we're actually ahead on clock right now, but I'll bet you even money once we set up the loop that our opponent's gonna make us click through it again. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Doop, doo 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 doo. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you will, but you never ever let it go. Oh, we need 2 Sunscape Familiars now. That's so annoying. I do. This song is very Eminem friendly, to be fair. Alright, so let's Mortuary Mire this on top of our deck. Yes, please. And then let's go ahead and flick these boys. I would like a familiar. I guess I'll take the Aqueduct. Play the familiar. Flashback a little deep anal. Am I just flashing back deep anal again? No, let's evoke this. Yeah, I can flick the Mortuary Mire. I'm aware of that one. It's gonna be something that happens. I need to find the last creature though. The God-Pharaoh's Faithful is just like quietly the MVP in this deck, just like nope. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna die to the aggros. I mean, our deck has a deterministic combo killing it, Bob. Our deck goes actual infinite at a certain point. This deck is like Dragon Ball Z, 5 episodes of charging up and somehow still requiring a full episode to do one attack. Yeah, basically. I actually probably don't want to cycle these Ash Barrens, so I put a lot of bad cards at the bottom of my deck that I don't want to shuffle back in. There are 21 cards left in my opponent's deck. 20 cards. Of course, Skyfisher. Yep, as you will. 2 great months of singing from the Angry Man in the Box. Thank you, Telv, for re-upping your Prime support this way. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Oh no, not 10 points of damages. Alright, let's draw all of our combo pieces this turn, shall we? That's not a combo piece. Alright, so I think we're going to start by deep analysis and see where we get. Alright, I mean, Snap makes a bunch of mana. So I'm, like, probably doing the thing this turn. So we play this wall out. We pick back up Ghostly Flicker. We're gonna Ghostly Flicker the wall and the Mire. Mire's gonna put Sunscape Familiar on top of our deck. Wall's gonna pick Ghostly Flicker back up. And then I'm going to go ahead and snap the Seagate Oracle back to my hand, which generates me 3 extra mana. And then we're going to go ahead and evoke this. And then in response to the evoke trigger, we'll Ghostly Flicker these 2. This is going to pick Ghostly Flicker back up. I didn't have my other thing get milled earlier, right? No, I don't think so. Okay, there's some Sunscape Familiars. Okay, good. So they're dead. So we snap this back to our hand. This is the combo. For those that have come in and haven't seen us combo yet, we've hit the combo now. So we go Sunscape Familiar. And then we cast Denizen here. And now my Ghostly Flickers cost 1 mana. So Ghostly Flicker is free when we untap a land with it. So I can blink my Mnemonic Wall an unlimited number of times. And every time I blink the Mnemonic Wall, it picks back up the Flicker and it mills my opponent for 2 with the Sage Flow Denizen. So this is the way we mill their deck, mill their deck, mill their deck. This is the way we mill their deck early in the morning. This is, did we win game 1? This is game 1. Welcome to Pauper. Enjoy your stay. Remember when I said even money, they were gonna salt off 2 and make us click through this when, God, I can't remember the last time I had a bunch of opponents in a row make me click through a deterministic combo. This is probably gonna be a 2-match league. We'll just, like, drop a 2-0, because this is kind of miserable. Like, we're winning. We actually haven't lost a game yet once we win this game, but, like, this isn't, like, particularly interesting. He made you actually do it, have my money. Thanks, Scissor. So we've been playing this league for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we are currently in our 3rd game. We've won all of the games. But we're 100%, we're batting 100% on our opponents being salty dogs and making us click through it. Yeah, we need to win all the games because we can't Hey, Trax, good morning. For keeping me around. Yeah, I mean, the upside to the fact that the pregame was long is that I only had to mill 20 cards there. Yeah, but just the fact that, like, that's an angle that's worth playing at in this format kind of makes it a format that's bad for content, like I've been talking about. And, like, that's ultimately, like, again, like, whether or not we win or lose is, like, not super relevant to me. But as far as, like, live content goes, like, decks that regularly come down to, did I make my opponent click through their thing and did they time out because I made them click through their thing, is just not a good content experience. I mean, Grape Shot wouldn't even really make this that much faster, to be honest, because you still have to, like, cast a bunch of spells generating Storm Count. What threat do we need Serrated Arrows to answer? Serrated Arrows is just a removal spell that you can Ghostly Flicker and use again. You can't draw a game stealth. You can't draw games in digital. If my timer hits 0, we lose, even if we're up a game. Really, the arena chess clocks need to be lower. The fact that, like, this application is infinitely slower than arena, and its clock is 5 minutes shorter, is a true testament to arena's clock needing to be, like, 10 minutes shorter. Our opponent is also taking the full amount of time to sideboard, too. Just maximum time kill. Yeah, this hand's fine. I have no idea what that card does, Adrian. I'm not super experienced with Pauper. I'm mostly just playing decks people have sent me at this point, or decks that have 5-0'd. Yeah, these are all great, right? Next turn we can play Familiar plus Aqueduct. Trinket Mage, eh? Relic of Progenitus. Ha! Huh. How do I beat that card? Can I beat that card? I guess I can flick again in response to it. Just gonna go ahead and deep anal here, and maybe this will get them to pull the trigger on this. If not, we'll draw a bunch of cards. Exile Expanse and then Ponder when they activate again next turn. The relic does mean I need to be careful with, Oh, I should have tapped black to cast this. I could have a Dispel up right now. Attempt to put Sunscape Familiar back on top of my deck. Yes, please. Alright. I think I'm just discarding an Aqueduct here. I don't really want another tapped land, and my hand is kind of choked on cards. It's going to make me discard to hand size. Snap is only a creature. It's not Boomerang. Mulldrifter will trade with their Glinthawk. Which spell was that, opponent? I didn't catch that. Which spell were you casting? Second Relic. I feel like I could potentially set up to play through this, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do that in the time we're currently allotted. There's 3 Ghostly Flickers in our deck. It's a Hydroblast. It's not bad. We played a land for the turn. Exile a couple of things here. Second Mulldrifter is pretty good because it threatens to block their 2/3 if they attack with it. Lucas, thanks for 8 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So, because they've activated both these relics now, I probably just Preordain plus Wall this turn to get that kind of guaranteed. Okay, so we're definitely drawing that, but we're not casting it yet because we don't want it to get exiled if they kill it. I still need to play a land for the turn, right? That's a land for the next 2 turns, which is nice. I think I want to hold up Hydroblast here. I think I'm gonna... And I don't want to really discard the wall, because it's a combo piece, technically. Discard the Oracle. This is going to be the last match with this deck, Bob. Between the naturally long games and people making us play it out. These deep analyses are a little scary at this point. Alright, there's a Ghostly Flicker. So... I basically need to set up another Flicker for the turn, right? I bet Flicker can get them to pull the trigger on one of these. So do they want to pull the trigger on this relic, or are they going to give me the flicker back? Yep. All right, so there's a snap. Snap makes me a bunch of mana if I wanted to. I think I'm just gonna now I can't wall and pick that up because they'll be able to just activate their thing and exile it. So I think I'm just passing here. So what am I trying to do for next turn? So next turn, I want to try and, if I find both my flickers, I have 2 more flickers in my deck. If we can find both of them, we could be good to go. Twenty-four cards in my deck. 23 once I draw. There's another snap. Snap makes a lot of mana. Let's get to analysis. To play Seagate Oracle. Only doing this so I'll use the correct Hydroblast art next time. I just use whatever is the default I get sent. So I don't really have strong opinions or feelings on artwork. Morning, Big Mama. All right, there's a flicker. I think I just continue to chill here. I'm going to snap back Mulldrifter. And then recast it. Yeah, there are many things that are terrible about Magic Online that make it impossible to get into. And the lack of an overlay is definitely up there. Those are pretty bad. I've got 10 cards in my hands. We're just discarding these 3 tapped lands. They can pay 1 mana and activate the Relic of Preordain Geoff, so no, we don't win. Is Snap with Wall infinite because we have 4 Sunscape Familiars? Does that work because we have 4 Sunscapes? I think Geoff is right, actually. Right? Because this is 2. So yeah, there's a second infinite in the deck. All right, so let's do this. This is fine. We untapped and have triple counterspell up now. So waiting a turn when we have triple counterspell is fine. You only need 2 blue. You generate 2 blue every time, and you only need 2 blue to do it. You need 1 blue to cast Snap, 1 blue to cast Wall. Alright, do you have 4 counterspells in your hand? Oh, God. Alright, so we're gonna blink these, and then the wall's gonna target Dispel, which will hopefully get them to pull the trigger on their relic. And if they don't pull the trigger on the relic, so they're pulling the trigger on the relic. So that means my Sage Denizen stays in my bin, which means I can Mortuary Mire it later. Alright, so now we cast this and we're looking for our last Ghostly Flicker. Chancery kinda does it, but I'd rather just hit my last flicker. Chancery takes too long because I have to like pick it up. I have to play the land in one turn, and then play the next land the following turn. It just takes way too long. Alright, so there's Flicker. So we Flicker, Wall, and Mire. I should float a mana here. I did not. That's a mistake. We're skirting my wall. That's fine. Is it fine? I think they've died. I think we've killed them. They have no cards in hand and can't draw, right? So now I do this. Always yield, save targets, always yield. Yeah, so they're dead. I've got to mill. I've got 2.5 minutes to mill. You got 2.5 minutes to mill them out, but we did it. Nice control deck. It took us 1 hour and 40 minutes, but we went 4-0. We're gonna move on to some Modern here in about 30 seconds. Wow, still just making us click through it. Still just making us click through it. Apparently, Salt is a way of life in the Pauper queue. Apparently, Salt is a way of life in the Pauper queue. $11 cards, chat. 11 cards. This is This is not worth my time to 5-0 with this off stream. 0% chance I finish this league. And honestly, this kind of removes my desire to play future matches of Pauper. If this is what it's gonna be like. Because like, this deck is neat, but like, a lot of decks in this format are like this. Alright, we did it. We won. How incredibly satisfying. Was it worth your time, opponent? Was it worth the time you spent losing? I hope it was. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to be done with this deck for here. For people that are new to my content, maybe if you're dropping in, checking out because we're doing Pauper for the first time in a while. Normally I play decks for a time limit with a minimum of 2 matches because I go through a lot of decks every day. So we're 2-0-4-0 here, but it took us an hour and 40 minutes to get to 2 2-0s with 4 O's. And I definitely would have timed out in either of those because our opponents were having us click through it. So I think I have 2 more Pauper decks in the queue, one of which is an aggro deck, so that'll be nice, but I'm not sure if this format's going to become a mainstay on my channel just because, like, this being, like, more the norm of games and people making us, like, salt off and click through combos on Magic Online, like, that's the reason I don't take decks like Devoted Company in Modern a lot of the time, and it seems like a lot of Pauper are these more grindy decks, and I'm just not interested. They just don't make for good content. It's really slow and tedious, and people don't want to sit there and make me click through my deterministic combo every single day. So it's like, this deck was neat. It's got a neat angle of attack. It definitely seems powerful against mid-range decks in the format. I wish we had more time to like see how it lines up against aggressive decks, but you just don't get to pick your matchup on Moto, and the 2 people that we played against had us click through stuff, so I just didn't have time.